It's not a big deal. It's not trivial. It's a painstaking process to make sure that every piece of code that you rely on that knows that an internet address is 32 bits long also knows that it might be 128 bits long in a somewhat different format. Most of the software that's needed to do that is already in the servers, it's already in the laptops, it's already in the mobiles, it's already in the routers. But a lot of the internet service providers haven't turned it on because they too don't understand that their customers may need to talk to someone halfway around the world using IP version 6 rather than IP version 4. So I encourage the enterprises of the world to ask their internet service providers, what's your IPv6 rollout plan? Because the ISPs will often say, nobody's asking for this service, so why should I go to the trouble of offering it?
Considering when IPv6 was certified, its adoption has been slow to occur, likely contributing to the inertia already mentioned among enterprises. As one of the inventors of IP, what one thing do you think will most accelerate IPv6 adoption in the next 2 to 4 years?
I think a couple of things will. The first thing that will motivate it is it's been formally launched. On June 6th of 2012, that was launch day for IPv6, and I think the Internet Society put a stake in the ground and said, you know what, it's real, it's here, we're running it, we're not turning it off. And Google and Yahoo and Microsoft and others have taken that up. So I hope that's some motivation, that there is real functionality out there on the other end of an IPv6 address. That's the beginning of that. The second one is encountering a situation where you really have to do IPv6. It could be a consequence of a mobile application where it doesn't work unless you have an end-to-end unicast address on both ends of the equation. As soon as those kinds of applications show up and don't work using NATed arguments or using tunneling, some people are going to wake up and realize that they really need to have that capability in place. And I think there is a potential here just for the users to be asking their enterprise service providers, when are you going to get V6 in place? It's embarrassing to have to ask a user to say that, because the responsible thing to do is to hide that whole problem from any user. No user should ever have to know about V4 or V6 or anything else. They may use domain names, and those should be mapped into the appropriate addresses. If we did our job properly, they'd never know. But since that isn't happening, we may have to coach the user community to say, you should be asking about this, because in the long run, you're going to need it, even if your service providers don't understand that.